Welcome to Trade Tycho Presentations, and today we're going to focus on the power of the mind. As we start talking about the power of the mind, I want to make this presentation in three categories. First, we'll look at the characters of the mind, what makes the mind powerful. And secondly, I want us to just look at colonialism. How did we really become oppressed and colonized? What kind of mental situation was going on right back then? And thirdly, we are going to look at how can we unlearn that so that we can rise to our true nature. So, the limitless power of the mind refers to the extraordinary capacity and potential inherent in human cognition and consciousness. So with this, we are just going to start looking at the first character of the mind, which is creativity and innovation. The mind possesses an inherent ability to generate new ideas, concepts, and solutions. The mind can imagine things, possibilities beyond this existing reality, leading to breakthroughs in art, science, and technology. Even furthermore, we see people coming up with things, whether educated or not, but because the mind is creative and innovative, people continue to bring forth things that are special into this life. Secondly, let's look at the ability to learn. The mind has a learning and adaptable character. The mind is so highly adaptable and capable of acquiring knowledge, skills, and insight through learning and experience. It can process and assimilate information, make connections, and apply learning to new situations, allowing for personal growth and development as we are attempting today. Thirdly, let's look at problem solving and critical thinking. The mind has the capacity to analyze complex situations, evaluate information, and generate logical and innovative solutions. So here we're talking about critical thinking. It can think critically, consider multiple perspectives, and make informed decisions to a point where it wows people. Where a situation was hopeless, the mind can turn things around 180 degrees. Fourthly, let's look at emotional intelligence and resilience. The mind can understand and regulate emotions, empathize with others, and navigate challenging situations. The mind possesses resilience, enabling individuals to bounce back from adversity, manage stress, and maintain a mental well-being. So, with these characters of the mind, it is not easy for a human being to give up. The fifth one will be visualization and manifestation. The mind has the ability to visualize goals, dreams, and aspirations, which can shape motivation and guide actions through forecast intentions and beliefs. It can influence outcomes and actually manifest desired realities. Imagine that. Every time, actually, we are frequently told that you can do anything with your own mind. You can actually manifest the reality that you desire. It is a character of the mind. The sixth one is consciousness and self-awareness. The mind enables self-reflection, introspection, and awareness of one's thoughts, your own thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. It allows individuals to question, explore their identity, and develop a deeper understanding of themselves and the world around them. So with this one, you actually go into toil, because now you start questioning, you start trying to understand what is going on. Why is this like that? And why is this not like this? The seventh and final one will be the collective intelligence and collaboration of the mind. The mind is able to collaborate with other minds, because when minds come together, they can amplify their power. Collective intelligence allows for collaboration and sharing of knowledge and expertise, and the generation of collective solutions that can surpass any individual capability. So these are the kind of characteristics that we have in the mind. With these remarkable potential of the mind, it's important to note that unlocking the power of the mind requires effort, practice, and nurturing. It requires continuous learning, cultivating positive habits, and maintaining a growth mindset, so that at the end of the day we can say that we have expanded ourselves to the limitless power of the mind. Now I want us then to look at the next category of mind power, of how powerful our mind is. You see, as not only Africans, many other nations were colonized. But what actually happened? Because now we are talking about the mind being powerful. The mind can be an enemy of its own. Colonialism, had a profound and lasting effect on the minds of us who were colonized. And I just want to focus on a few things, like what really happened, how did it overcome us, how did it suppress us. One, let's look at inferiority complex. The colonial rule often propagated the notion of racial and cultural superiority, which led to the development of an inferiority complex among everyone who has been colonized. This constant subjugation, exploitation, and degeneration of our culture and identity eroded our self-esteem and created a sense of inadequacy. So this is where we started to doubt ourselves. And if you doubt yourself, you're never going to rise above yourself. The other thing that happened during colonialism is cultural displacement, you see. Colonial powers imposed their own cultural values, languages, and institutions on us. They often actually suppressed everything that we were trying to do and achieve, the way that we live, and making sure that they eradicate our indigenous cultures. These cultural displacement disrupted traditional knowledge and systems. Everything that we practice, everything that we love was distorted, leaving the colonizer in power, because we were now detached from our cultural roots. The other thing that colonialism did is that the loss of autonomy. Colonialism stripped us of our political, economic, and social autonomy. We were subjected to the arbitrary rules of the colonizers, with limited, actually, to no participation at all. See, in Africa, in South Africa, if you are black, you couldn't vote. And this would leave us very frustrated and very much actually poor as a people. The fourth thing is that we came to a point where we're internalizing these colonial ideologies. As the colonized people, we're exposed to the dominant ideologies of the colonizers, their religion, their way of running economics. And this in its own way, we started to actually love it to a manner that we thought it was the only way. But then later, or even during this entire process, there were those amongst us who were saying no to all of it. There was a little bit of resistance and resilience here and there, still showing us that the mind is powerful. So these people who were able to refuse this colonial rule are the same people that today can bring us bits and pieces of our own cultures, how we actually live, because this is what's left of it. And I know for a fact that most of us now want to actually go back and learn more. So now I want to look at the last category, the third and final category, where how do we actually unlearn everything that colonialism did to us? How do we actually rise to our true nature? We can rise to our true nature through education and awareness. I'm doing what I'm doing today because I feel the need to. Many other brothers and sisters out there are teaching, creating awareness about the fact that a human being can liberate themselves. A human being can rise to a higher level in the society, irrespective of race, irrespective of language or gender. So the way that I look at it now is that since we don't have much power to put this into our education system, we can just learn the best way we can. And this is one of the ways. And the other thing that we can do is that we can collaborate and then validate each other. Because now if you question things like you question religion, you are looked at as the Antichrist, as the dark one. But that's not what you mean. You are just exercising the power of your mind. And if you were to be engaged as a human being, growth would result. We need to revitalize our culture. How do we revitalize our culture? We need knowledge. Some of the people or some of us know what it means to be an African. Even if you are not in Africa, but you know what was taken from you. You know actually even how you want to actually live your life. There's the other aspect of political empowerment that is required, but I want to say we cannot just say we need political empowerment so that we can be liberated from the tortures of colonialism, because the people who are going into power are very much reluctant to putting and enacting actually policies that can liberate the black child, the one who was colonized. We also need to go through serious processes of healing. But all these that we have to go through are interconnected with what the mind can do. The mind is so powerful that if we are willing, we can start individually. Actually, it always has to be that way. Begin this journey individually so that you can understand what it means when you say, I believe in this. What it means when you say, I believe in that. I am this. I love this. This is how we should go forward. And also media representation. We need that, but we are doing it by ourselves. I've been watching a lot of brothers and sisters online. They are representing. We are pushing for the freedom of a black child, and ultimately we're going to be in unison. So the mind is powerful. You don't need any other thing but yourself to start to actually liberate yourself. Take the time that you need to understand who you are. I think with this, I don't want to put a lot into it. We can stop it here for today, but we are continuing to look at the power of everything and how it affects